Welcome to the Inc. Productivity Tip of the Day. Today's tip: what business leaders can learn from teachers about giving truly effective feedback. An expert opinion by Jessica Stillman. When top venture capitalist Ben Horowitz made the case several years back that CEOs are made and not born, he used one particular skill to illustrate his point that learning to be an effective leader almost always takes years of hard practice: giving feedback. In athletics, some things like becoming a sprinter can be learned relatively quickly because they take a natural motion and refine it. Others, like boxing, take much longer to master because they require lots of unnatural motion, Horowitz explains, before offering feedback as the quintessential example of the latter. Giving feedback turns out to be the unnatural atomic building block atop which the unnatural skill set of management gets built. Horowitz goes on to offer tips on how to improve, but evidence, including research and the testimony of management experts, suggests that despite a wealth of advice out there on the subject, many leaders still struggle to balance skill-improving constructive criticism with the need to motivate and maintain positive relationships. Where should leaders look for help with this unnatural but essential skill? Perhaps to another group of professionals whose whole job revolves around cheering people on while also telling them how to do better. Teachers. A new study out of Stanford and Sonoma State University gathered assignments from 139 teachers across the U.S. to examine how educators provide feedback to students. The researchers also asked students to rate how they would respond to various types of feedback. Which style of teacher feedback did the study find had the most benefits? In short, an approach called agentic feedback. In this type of feedback, the teacher doesn't merely point out the wrong answer and provide the correct one, but directs the student to look again at the parts of their work where there is room for improvement. Camilla Moutoni Griffiths wrote in Scientific American, correcting spelling errors is not agentic feedback. Telling a student that they need to reread the piece because there are multiple spelling errors throughout is agentic feedback. As another illustration, rewriting a student's topic and transition sentences throughout an essay is not agentic, but crafting a note like, a topic sentence should signal what the paragraph is about. Can you try reworking this sentence to reflect the paragraph? Is this approach to feedback more work for both teachers and students? The researchers are upfront that it is, but they also note it has big advantages. Students told the researchers this type of feedback gave them choice and made them think, which they enjoyed despite the extra effort. It also signals to kids who are less confident in their abilities, particularly students from marginalized backgrounds, that the teacher believes in their potential and thinks they have the skills to do better. Moutoni Griffiths says, communicating that you believe in someone's ability to grow is a proven way to promote their growth, especially for marginalized groups that are usually expected to do poorly because of stereotypes. This positive reinforcement is particularly valuable given that research has previously shown women and Black students are often offered nicer feedback that fails to provide the information they need to improve. Agentic feedback is informative while also encouraging, all of which is fascinating for teachers. But why is it relevant for entrepreneurs? The researchers note that this same approach to feedback can be equally effective in a business context. Our research involved middle and high school teachers responding to student writing, but the lessons learned can apply to many contexts, including the interactions between a manager and their employee. People want to feel like someone believes in them and is there to support them. Agentic feedback provides one way to achieve both goals, they write, concluding with this advice for leaders looking to put their findings into practice. The key to providing this feedback is to think about the questions you can raise, rather than issuing direct corrections or prescriptions. It's the difference between telling someone how they should do it and asking, how could you approach this issue differently in the future? So next time you're faced with an employee whose work needs improvement, resist the impulse to simply tell them how to do it better, or to avoid the unpleasant interaction altogether. Instead, guiding them to figure out how to improve things for themselves will result in more growth and positivity for everyone. That's it from Inc. Find more articles from today's top business and thought leaders at Inc.com. Check back weekday mornings for more tips from Inc.